Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, hello and welcome to the Empty Promise podcast. My name is Chris, and today you are joining me and my best friend in the whole wild world, Mr. James D. Downey.
Hello, everybody.
As we come back onto your screens and into your hearts and into your ear canals with season 4 of the Empty Promise podcast. This is episode 117. It is fantastic to have you joining me. I know. You know what that is?
Spartan Master Chief.
That's
117.
That's it.
John.
I hope to God there's some kind of Halo references or something Halo-esque.
If we were thinking, there would have been.
You know, I've actually wrote down Halo here, but I never sent you my notes. So, you know.
Yeah. I remember we said we should do something Halo focused for 117.
Yeah, we did.
But to be fair, the amount of people who just got that reference.
Yeah. Very, very, very minuscule.
Not a lot of people follow games.
No, but you are joining us on January 10th, 2021. D, we are 10 days only into the new year, and what a 10 days it has been for the whole wide world. How are you? How are you doing?
It's new year, new me, Chris.
Yeah, good.
It's all changed. It's all better now. The COVID, it's disappeared overnight. Everything in the world peace essentially was achieved. 2021 is as perfect as we all anticipated it to be.
Yep.
And that's true for me as well, obviously.
Good. I'm glad, D. I'm glad it's all worked out. Glad it all worked out in the end.
Everything's perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been a weird start.
No, it's been a good
it's been entertaining if nothing else.
Chapter.
Yeah. We call this the prologue, isn't it? Is the prologue? The prologue's first. The epilogue's
the
last.
prologue.
Yeah. The 2021 prologue. I tell you one good thing to come out of it is this weather. I am really enjoying this weather. I like the
hills.
I like the cold. I like the frost.
The frost.
Yeah, it's real nice. It's got a wee bit of snow coverage.
We went. Yeah, we never got any of the snow really up here in Belfast, unfortunately.
Wow.
I might save this for personal podcast, but we have went on some idyllic walks.
Okay, keep that bad boy. Yeah, because I want to hear about that. Yeah.
You've probably done some runs knowing you, so.
Knowing me, knowing you.
Knowing me, knowing you. Keeping the Christmas.
It's much too late for that, dude. It's much too late.
It's kind of relevant. There's still snow on the ground. It's fine.
January 10th. Hello to everybody who is new listening to the podcast. Maybe your New Year's resolution was to listen to some new podcast. And if you have found this one, what a resolution that has turned out to be.
What are you doing?
You are graced with the Empty Promise, and we hope that this podcast finds you well. To all our returning listeners, thank you. We hope you are well. We hope you have a nice, rested, enjoyable, festive period with friends and family, and you're geared up and ready to go in 2021. All I have down in my diary here, D, is in bullet points: shoot the shit with D money. So I think I've shot some of the shit with you. Are you ready to give me a bit of on this day, a bit of lists, a bit of knowledge bombs?
You call me D Money?
Yeah, to call you D Money, yeah. Yeah. You like it?
Did not care for that. That's negatory. Can affirm in the negative, or can reply in the negative. I have a list for today being the 10th of January. I have a list from the 11th of January because it's much better. In 1974. The first surviving sextuplets are born in Cape Town, South Africa. So six, I believe, sextuplets.
Yeah, wow.
6 kids at once, or carried together. Do you
ever wonder
God love that family.
The amazing capabilities of like the female body that can hold 6 fucking babies in it? Like, where are you putting 6 babies? Yeah. Like, I know the babies are small. They're still fully formed human beings. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, where are you carrying them? Like, what?
I don't know. I can just imagine that being an incredibly uncomfortable experience from start to finish.
Yeah. Just an incredibly rewarding experience having all 6 lived, and now you have a family of 8. I hope, mother, father, and 6 kids, just like that overnight.
Imagine you were just like planning for, one little,
I know,
have one child, and you have 6, like,
Yeah.
I'm sure it's
That's going to be a
it's
hell of
possibility.
a hell of a gender reveal party there.
Oh my god! Imagine the birthdays, Chris. Oh my
Oh,
god!
oh yeah. And imagine if all 6 kids had like different bands of friends, like 6 different
Oh,
groups of friends.
that would be the worst. Like,
I think that'd be cool as hell. Like that'd be awesome.
it's a big family.
Have you
I have
ever?
10. Sorry, yeah.
Do you know? Have you ever been friendly, or have you ever been in the company of twins or triplets or septuplets or what's 4 quadruplets?
Think no, nothing more than 2. I don't think I've known twins.
Yeah, I've known
Not
twins.
directly.
I think I've been in the presence of twins. I don't think I've ever.
In the presence of twins.
I don't think I've ever been in the presence of triplets though.
No, I don't think I know any triplets.
I think I'm gonna have to put that on the to-do list. Be in the presence of triplets and see if I can
Not sure.
tell the difference.
2021 goals.
Yeah.
Well, here I have 10 pairs of well-known and not so well-known twins for you.
Well,
So not even triplets, just twins. Mary Kate and Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine we'll all be fairly familiar with those guys. Cara and Shelby Hoffman.
Hoffman.
Oh my god. Shared the role of Sonny Baudelaire in the film of Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events.
Right. Okay.
Well, this is cool. Like, twins always do this. Like, twins are like used as one baby. I know in Friends as well. The baby in Friends was
That's
twins.
right. Yeah.
I don't know why they do that. Gabriella and Monica Uramia.
Okay.
Have you heard of those names before? I'm sure you have.
Gabriella and Monica. I'm assuming stage names. Like there's going to be a stage name here that I'm going to be very familiar with. No. I'm trying to think. No.
One shot in the dark.
Go on. No. Go on. Tell me.
It's the Cheeky Girls.
Oh fuck! I never would have got that.
It's the Cheeky Girls.
Wow. Are they not like French?
I don't know.
I always thought they were French.
Or there's not French names.
Well,
Yeah,
whenever
Monica
you said it,
French.
yeah, true. My head went Dominican.
Gabriella, you're thinking of
That's where I am right now.
from Scrubs or something. What?
Yeah.
No. What do you call her from Scrubs? I'm Dominican.
The actress or the girl?
No,
the girl.
I can't think of her name from Scrubs. Oh, we're getting so sidetracked already.
Carla.
Carla, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm Dominican. Let me see. Oh, Maurice and Robin Gibb.
There's another weird.
The Gibb brothers, Chris. Come on, Chris. The Gibbs.
The Gibbs?
The Gibb brothers.
What the fuck are the Gibbs?
The Bee Gees are the Gibbs.
No way. The Bee Gees.
Yeah.
Ah,
I think they're all brothers, and then these two are twins, Maurice and Robin.
The Bee Gees.
Let's skip to more interesting ones. Oh, Craig and Charlie Reid. You'll have heard of them as well, but you probably won't get this.
Charlie
Twins.
Reid. No. Go on, tell me.
The Proclaimers. Yeah.
Nice.
And finally, Elvis Presley and Jesse Presley.
Did not know Elvis
twin
Presley
brother.
was a twin. Wow.
He had a twin brother who died at birth.
Oh fuck! Right. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Pretty mad.
always thought Macaulay Culkin was a twin, but he just has a younger brother who is like the spit of him.
Yeah, spitting image of him.
Yeah, crazy. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thank you for that list. The only thing I can really tell you, and it's not even from my book, is on the 10th of January, I think 60s, the Boston Strangler was captured.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh.
So the Boston Strangler. That could be a topic that we look into.
Potential topic, yeah.
Potential topic right there. But speaking of potential, I've got a new segment for January that I think you are going to enjoy. I've put some work into this. I've done my research. But I am going to give you 5 words, and I want you to tell me if you can tell me what these words are, or if they are just completely bogus, made up words.
Okay.
Now they are
okay.
they may sound quite rude. Some of them may sound quite dirty.
Okay.
But I want...
Okay, now I'm invested. All right. Okay, now I'm in.
Okay. So we'll start with the first one. Okay. Okay, our first word. And I want you to tell me if this is a bogus word or if you can tell me what it actually is. Okay. Coming tonight.
Okay. I think coming tonight is a type of element, or it's like a ore or something like that. Like like some
Where do you even pluck that? Like, what?
another famous ice, like like meteorite.
Oh, fuck!
Like
That's
something
where your
like that.
mind went. Oh wow, that is crazy.
Am I
Like
close?
I'm fucking astounded at that. Like,
Come
yes,
on.
it is a mineral named after
Yes.
Cummington, after the town of Cummington in Massachusetts. That is insane, B. Where the
Excellent.
fuck did you pull that from? Holy shit! Like
Shut
coming
up with
tonight. Come on, where the hell? What the hell, man? Okay,
Coming
okay.
tonight.
Well,
There
the
you go.
next one, next one might not be so easy. Dream hole.
Ooh, dream hole. And some of these words just completely made up, or
They might be, or some of
oh.
I might throw some of the made up ones in next week. I've got a lot of words. I've got a lot of words.
Dream hole.
Dream hole, all one, no spaces.
Yeah, I'm struggling here. Dream hole. Let me just go with it's
It's not what you want it to be.
is it like another thing where it's like in some industry they have like a particular type of like hole they have to drill, like a mining thing, a mining firm? I'm gonna go mining or something
Mining
like that.
first. So you're gonna go along the mining firm. I can tell you, D, that a dream hole is actually a small opening which is made in the wall of a steeple or tower to allow sunlight or air in.
Wow.
So in
Cool.
all those like holy buildings
Yeah.
and cathedrals and things, you see a little hole. That's called a dream
Just
hole.
like little slits almost, like
Yeah,
little like.
there you go.
I have learned something today.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you that.
Okay, your third word today. I got 5 of these. Your third one today. Invagination.
Vagination. Invagination.
Yeah.
Vagination. I'm guessing it's got nothing to do with the vagina, I assume.
No, I can 100% confirm it is not.
Okay, invagination. I'm gonna say it's something like it's a process of invagination. Vagination is.
Yeah, break it down. Break it down.
I really can't. I can't.
No, I didn't think I don't think anybody would know this. Like, invagination is a form or shape resulting from an infolded tissue.
No, I never in a million years would have gotten that.
No. Number 4, tease hole.
Tease hole.
Yeah, tease hole. So we've had dream hole.
Dream hole.
Now I'm gonna tease you a little bit with the tease hole, D.
A tease hole is an opening in a building that lets you see small parts of the inside of it.
Close, but no.
So not close at all.
No. A tease hole, D, is an opening in a glass-making furnace used to add more fuel.
Crap.
You tease the fire, through the hole.
Yeah. I had opening. I was close.
And your final one for this week, D, vagitus. Or it could be vagitus or it could be vegetus, but I'm pretty sure it's vagitus.
Is it some sort of affliction?
It's not. It's definitely not what I thought it was.
Is it a medical thing at all? Like kind of like dermatitis or meningitis?
I don't know if no, I wouldn't call it medical, but no, it's not. It's not medical. No, it's probably the no.
Vagititis.
No, not vagititis, just vagitus. Yeah.
Oh, vagitus. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, vagitus.
Vagitus.
I'm gonna say it's like a vagitus is like a lone wanderer type of thing. Maybe a creature, maybe an animal or something that is like a solo rolling animal that doesn't depend on others.
Oh,
like
that's pretty badass. Yeah, like the cheetah would be classed as a vagitus.
Yeah, I'm thinking like vagabond.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah.
I'm thinking something along those lines.
Like vagabonding, where you're like lone wandering. Okay, I can tell you that vagitus is actually the cry of a newborn baby.
Mm.
So you were close.
Yeah.
But not quite. But not quite. Thank you for playing along this week, D. But I can confirm that next week, it will be food based, and I will have pictures. I will have
cool.
pictures. Okay.
That was hard though. That was hard.
I mean, come on, like dream hole, tease hole, invagination. Come on. Coming tonight. That what a fucking guess though. Well done. 1 out of 5.
I got coming tonight.
Yeah. I'd say you did a hell of a lot better than most people listening to this. I'd say a lot of people listening to this would have heard this and just switched off completely. Okay, yeah, that is my
not suitable at all.
That is my January is dirty month. There you go. So get used to it. We got 3 more weeks of this.
Thank you very much for that.
No bother. D, I think it's time to do a bit of news. What do you think?
Okay. Let me go see what I got. I do in my investigative journalism of the last 2 weeks. This is what I stumbled upon.
Okay, I'm glad you have some news this week. I have a piece of news.
Struggling to find it. Oh gosh, do you know what? It was dominated by like actual news this week. Typically, we have like, jokey little pieces of news. This week, unfortunately, there was a very real thing that could happen in America.
Yeah, crazy. Dude.
I mean, yeah, like 2021's been a bit, hasn't really delivered the promise of putting all this shit behind us.
Yeah,
like at all.
No.
But I do have some pieces, Chris, of fun news. Did we talk about the KFC console last week or last podcast?
We didn't actually. No. But I've been seeing a lot more images and shit of it, or like pieces on this, and I have no idea what it is. So why don't you bring it to our attention?
I mean, it's the new competitor for if you're interested in games and you want to get a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, think again.
Right.
Because now KFC have got their competitor on the market. It's the KFC console. So the C in KFC stands in for the C in console. So it's not called the KFC console. It's the KFC console. And it is apparently the KF console, if you prefer. It's the KFC console.
Yeah, I like that better.
Come on. It is a VR-ready, high-end gaming PC that comes with a built-in chicken warmer, because we need to keep our chicken warm when we're playing games on our.
Say that again. It's a what?
A VR-ready, high-end gaming PC, which comes with a built-in chicken warmer.
It's a high-end gaming
to keep
PC.
Your chicken tendies warm.
And this is real.
This is 100% real. So KFC have partnered with a Cooler Master to make this. It's basically a case for a PC, if you have a PC, where built into the case is a honest to God chicken warmer. Like it's not just like a hot part of the case. It's a little drawer. It comes out. You can put your chicken in. There's like a little grill or grate that you can set your chicken on. It keeps it warm while you're playing games, heated by the components within your PC. I don't know who came up with this idea. I don't know who pitched this, how they got funding for it, how they went ahead with it, why we have it today, but it exists. I don't think you can buy it yet, but it will be available.
I just don't know why there's a need.
There's not a need, Chris. There is no need. This is 1000% publicity, but it's good publicity, because it's got everyone talking about it. If you're into games at all. Apparently, the other interesting thing about this is that it has a hot swappable GPU, so you can change. If you want to get more pixels and better graphics, you gotta buy a new console.
Yeah,
and this you can just buy the new
component
itself and swap them in. So apparently that's fun. But it's just fucking KFC being ridiculous. Excuse my French.
Wow.
Christopher can bleep me out in post.
Yeah. That's insane. Why is there even a need for this? Who needs to keep chicken warm while you're gaming? Eat the chicken before or after, or even during.
If you're eating it during, something comes up, you're getting shot at in COD, you got to drop your chicken into the chicken warmer, finish up your day, and then you go back, your chicken's still warm.
This is next end though.
It's
This is crazy.
stupid, but it exists, Chris. It exists.
It shouldn't exist. Wow.
The other pieces of news I have are basically talking about the events in America, in DC, where the Capitol building was stormed by protesters / rioters /
Trumpists.
Trumpists. Oh, is that what they're calling themselves?
I don't know.
They should call themselves trumpets. Brilliant.
Brilliant. Here's us over here.
So happy with that.
Wasted the journalism crying out for people like you.
The trumpets marched on DC and they stormed the building and all this. It's quite serious. It is serious. Five people are dead.
Isn't there not an inquiry into how they actually managed to storm the Capitol building so easily?
Oh, I don't know if you've seen the videos, Chris, but there's literally videos where the police just stood aside, stood either side of the wall and let them
What's
walk
that
through.
about? What's that about? Yeah, and the whole thing that came out of it was white privilege, basically. This whole idea of white supremacy. There wasn't.
If this was Black Lives Matter, people would have been beaten.
There would have been tear gas. There would have been beatings. Exactly. There probably would be deaths. Yeah.
Oh,
I think they arrested 4 people, and there was 4 people apparently died, and then I think they arrested 4 people as well.
Yeah, 5 people have now died actually because a police officer has succumbed to his injuries.
Wow.
But yeah, it's bizarre.
It's crazy.
It's a bit out of hand, I gotta say. But the funny thing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to find the funny side. I know people died. I don't want to make too light of the situation, but there were. It's kind of comes back to this white privilege thing we're talking about. These people really just think that they can walk into the Capitol and they can do these things without consequence, to the point where a man who stormed the Capitol wore his company ID badge. He wore a piece of personally identifiable information on him from his place of work.
He literally just left work and was like, "Fuck it, I gotta be at work at 9, but we're storming the Capitol building at 10, man. Come on,
don't got time to change, you guys. I gotta wear it."
This is insane, man.
I mean, it should shock nobody that he has now been fired. As soon as the employer seen video of him walking in with a thing on. Similarly, this is another kind of silly piece of news that came out of it. A lot of people have been complaining about a particular individual. The guy who stole the podium? There's
the podium, yeah.
He's walking out with
it's made such a fucking funny picture. I know.
He just looks like he's on holiday. He's walking. I got a big podium with me. It's so silly. But he has also been. I think he's been arrested as well. But on Twitter and other places online, a lot of confusion has been going around. Because that image, that really, I'm sure a lot of people have seen that image of him holding that. That was it's copyrighted by Getty, Getty Pictures.
Yeah.
So anytime a news article was tweeting that picture, they were tweeting below it, via Getty. So using Getty Pictures. A lot of people have become very infuriated with via Getty, the individual.
Right.
They are addressing him as if he is the person, as if Via Getty is the person in the picture. Right. That has been their understanding. So, Via Getty, one of the rioters, steals a podium from the Capitol. A journalist, actually. This is a journalist wrote this. Terrorist Via Getty, one of the terrorists, steals a podium. Jeez. Boom! We got one of these idiots. Via Getty, look him up. I bet he flunked out of high school. Getty, that is his name. Let's get this guy and serve justice. Oh my God.
Via Getty, Jesus.
I want Via Getty and everyone who participated in this domestic terrorism at the Capitol today arrested.
That's madness.
What kind of name is Via Getty? One commenter replies. It's fuck's sakes.
That's insane, man. This shows you the mentality, though. Just the brain cells, that are just being killed.
People are just angry, man. They're just Via Getty, get him.
Yeah, it's insane. It was crazy watching it. I was watching it on Sky News, and it was what the fuck is going on with this place?
I was really? This is insane.
Yeah.
And then I was but okay, fair enough.
It's still
They'll
not.
make an ass of themselves. Hopefully,
Yeah, it's.
I didn't realize it was going to get as
Yeah.
dangerous as it did.
Yeah, yeah, insane stuff, man. Really insane.
Mhm.
I have a piece of news, D, that I've wanted to bring up since I read about this. I think this is fucking hilarious. So have you heard about the Denmark TV, the kids TV cartoon that has just been
Oh, I
launched?
think I have.
So Denmark launched a new kids TV show about a man with a giant penis.
Yep, it's
It's
Large Penis Awareness Month,
yeah.
January.
John Dillermand has an extraordinary penis. So extraordinary, in fact, it can perform rescue operations, etch murals, hoist a flag, and even steal ice cream from children.
Oh,
Yeah. John
that's not a
Dillermand,
no.
the man with the world's longest penis who overcomes hardships and challenges with his record-breaking genitals. This is no joke. This is a kids TV program. This is a show. The show depicts a man who is impulsive and not always in control, who makes mistakes like kids do, but crucially, Dillerman always has to or tries to make it right. He takes responsibility for his actions. When a woman in the show tells him that he should keep his penis in his pants, for instance, he listens. Fuck. He has been seen. Where did I see it? Hang on, let me just find the little piece I seen about what the episode is about, because it's. I think this is fucking hilarious. 1 second. Like, why would that even be a thing?
That's what I'm trying to understand. Is it like, is it something about body types or something? Like, is the show focused around him? Like specifically,
Yeah, no,
he's the main character.
He is the protagonist.
Yeah, I can't
Hang on.
fathom what it's about. I can't fathom like why.
John Dillerman, which literally translates to penis man in Danish slang. From rescue missions, he tames lions, like flying a helicopter, lighting barbecues, and stealing ice cream. At one point in a scene reminiscent of the film Up, he finds himself floating in the air over the town thanks to a colorful set of balloons tied to his tackle.
I don't know. Maybe it's not like such a big taboo. Like, maybe it's just like it's just a silly thing. He's got a big willy. No big deal.
The
Funny.
first of the 13 shows has been watched more than 140,000 times. It sparked some controversy, but mostly it's positive. It's like positive feedback coming from the show. It's meant to be funny. It seems pretty harmless. And people are saying it's teaching kids good kind of not morals, but good kind of life lessons, I guess.
Keep your penis in your trousers.
Yeah.
That's a valuable life lesson.
The series is not about sexualizing the body. I will link the little bit I have to this in the description, in the video version of the podcast, in that description, so you can check it out, because you can watch like the first episode online. It's
thumbnail.
Potential thumbnail, actually. Yeah,
maybe. A large penis man.
Large penis cartoon I'm writing. There we go. Don't say that we don't bring you some of the best news about. Like, this ain't no fake news. This is real shit.
So stuff you didn't think you needed to know, but you do.
And now you know.
Realize once you hear it.
Speaking of, sorry, just to get a slightly sidetracked for about 10 seconds. I have a bit of on this day, that we missed. In 1994, Lorena Bobbitt went on trial for severing her husband John's penis and throwing it in a field in Manassas, Virginia, USA. The penis was found and successfully reattached. Lorena was found innocent by way of insanity.
Oh.
So there you go. We just missed that. So
sure.
Just to stay on all things penis related.
Penis.
Yeah. So there you go.
I like it. We've talked about penises. We've talked about vaginas or vaginatus.
Mm-hmm.
Vaginatus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're covering all bases here.
Yeah. Have you got any more news you want to touch on, or do you want to go into our Yeah. Is it time for some
wanna-
caging the beastie?
It's time to cage the beast,
It's
Chris.
time for caging the beast. Rawr. The segment of our show that we dedicate 5 minutes to every single week to talk about the one and only Nicolas Cage. Sir Nicolas Cage. Lord Nicolas Cage, if you will. The greatest actor of all time and our national treasure. Each and every week we bring you a new piece of incredible news featuring the man. And D, this week, I actually seen on Amazon Prime, the movie Jiu-Jitsu we've been talking so much about.
Yes, Jiu-Jitsu,
You can rent it for $3.99 on Amazon Prime, man. Tempted to
there
do
you
it.
go. You can see our Lord and Savior, Nicolas Cage, as a Jiu-Jitsu warrior, master.
Yeah, Sensei maybe? I don't know. And
Sensei,
also his new show is on Netflix, D. Remember
yes, History of Swear Words.
History of Swear Words. I turned on the first episode for about 2 minutes. He looks fucking good in it, man. He looks great. He does look good. Suit. Yeah, looks real dapper.
Seems like a show designed for Nick Cage.
Yeah.
Sits him down to the ground. But that is actually the news that I have this week regarding Sir Nicholas, Lord Nicholas. It's History of Swear Words season 2 is already in the works at Netflix with Nicolas Cage returning.
Right.
So Big Saint Nick could be returning. Will be returning to Netflix for the History of Swear Words season 2. So
that's fantastic.
Season 1 landed on Netflix January 5th, so it's literally been out for 5 days at time of recording, and it's hosted by Nicolas Cage, which is just perfect, and I would agree with that sentiment.
Good watch, yeah.
The show's been doing well enough for Netflix to go ahead and greenlight the second season of History of Swear Words, and I have been told by my source. Now, this is not me speaking. I am quoting an article. I don't have sources.
Okay.
That you know of, Chris. For investigative journalist, which I am, purposes, I have to keep my sources anonymous. I've been told by my source that season 2 will also be hosted by Nicolas Cage, which is pure perfection.
Pure perfection.
So there you go. If you like Nick Cage and you like to see more of Nick Cage, you can see him on Netflix, History of Swear Words, and you're going to see him again in season 2, where such swear words as, I don't know, what swear words have they not covered yet?
So they've done like fuck or motherfucker. That was the first one I seen anyway. I think pussy was in there. Damn was in there.
Damn. Only America, right? Would be like, damn is a swear word.
See you next Tuesday was in there as well, but I don't know if it was.
Yeah.
Because that's a big one for Americans. Like, that's a big fucking swear.
We'll see darn will be next season.
Darn. Yeah.
Damn.
I don't know if shit has been in there. I don't know.
They probably don't even consider that as a swear word.
True. Okay, well, I think then all we got to do then now is firstly thank each and every one of our tremendous listeners for tuning into the podcast. And if you're new, you're very, very much welcome to our small but ever-growing community of Empty Promise listeners. This is the year of the Empty Promise, so we're so glad to have you on board. Remember, you can find the video version of this podcast on any podcast hosting. No, I got that wrong. You can find the video version of this podcast at youtube.com/Empty Promise Podcast, and the audio will be available on any podcast hosting service. You can get in contact with us through our social media. Just search for the handle Empty Promise Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram. And you can also get in contact with us through our email, D, which is
emptypromisepodcast@gmail.com.
That's beautiful. Did you ever check our emails that time to see if anybody had gotten in contact with us through email?
Yep.
Had anybody gotten in contact via the email?
Maybe. Haven't checked, but no, I don't think so.
It's there. It's there if you want to use it. But thank you to all our listeners all over the world. It makes us so happy to know that this podcast finds you well each and every week. If you are listening somewhere that you can give us a rating or a thumbs up, we would be tremendously grateful for that. And if you are watching the video version, hit that subscribe button. If you want to get more of us each and every week, and drop us a comment or get in touch with us. I seen somebody got in touch with us about Jan during the weekday. It's the podcast that just keeps giving. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's a fucking.
It seems that every time there's another comment or another mention about Jan on that video, it's another amazing thing that he did in his lifetime. It's just
incredible.
Yeah. What's his surname again? Jan
Balsrud.
Balsrud, yeah.
Balsrud.
Want to hear the incredible story of Balsrud, who was hunted and survived the hunt by Nazis in like the most like horrendous weather conditions ever.
Yeah.
In like Finland or Norway, sorry.
Norway, yeah.
Check that out. That's episode
90, 102, 103 and around there. You'll see it. It's called Hunted by Nazis. You can check it out. It's a great episode, if I do say so myself. Okay, before we get into our main topic this week, I am just boiling the kettle for a cup of coffee to get me ready to go. Hold on to your butts, everyone. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. This is the story of the Sun Gym Gang. And D, I've said that right there because I've actually got a bit of audio from like interviews and stuff that I'm going to actually put into the audio version just to spice up this. I know. I'm going all out with this one.
Spicy meatball.
Okay, so let's just jump into this then. You have the notes I sent you?
Yep.
Yeah, so you're able to follow along just so as I know. Okay, so the Sun Gym Gang were responsible for 2 murders and 1 kidnapping and extortion attempt in the mid-1990s. The gang were made up of bodybuilders who made use of the Sun Gym Gang in Miami Lakes. This is where the gang obviously gets their name from. They consisted of Daniel Lugo, Noel Adrian Doorball, who worked part-time at the gym, and to an extent, several others, including George, it could be Jorge actually, but I think it's George Delgado, who was at the time Daniel Lugo's personal trainer, and Stevenson Pierre, who was hired by Lugo to form a collection agency for overdue gym memberships. And when this didn't work out, he remained at the gym, ending up as a desk clerk. Carl Weeks, who moved from New York to Miami to live with his girlfriend's cousin, who was Stevenson Pierre, also makes an appearance, and Big Mario Sanchez. But as my notes suggest, I could find very, very little on this guy. So you have Daniel Lugo, Adrian Doorball, and George Delgado, who are like our main guys here. Yeah.
Doorball just sounds like a hilarious name.
Doorball, yeah. I mean, it's a hilarious story. It's not a hilarious story. It's a horrible story, but parts of it are just so stupidly ridiculous that you have to wonder like where the thought process was behind all this. So a bit of background, first of all, on Daniel Lugo. In 1991, Lugo had been arrested and pled guilty to fraud, serving a 15-month sentence in addition to a 3-year federal probation period. He had been convicted of fraud for pretending to be part of a Hong Kong bank that was looking to invest in American small businesses. The scheme involved collecting upfront fees for loan insurance and then not actually delivering any loans. Lugo then went on to work and ultimately manage Sun Gym. So he got out of harm's way and he actually ended up doing quite well for himself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, he's managing Sun Gym. And as it kind of suggested above, like this guy hired Pierre to form a collection agency for overdue memberships. Now, this gym, it's a pretty big gym, you know?
Yeah, if you need that.
Yeah, exactly. If you need something like that, like this is going to take in a lot of people. So, yeah, he's doing quite well for himself. George Delgado was Lugo's personal trainer, and it is said that the two of them had a very close relationship. In fact, it was Delgado's relationship with Lugo that caused a rift between Delgado and the Sun Gym Gang's first victim, Marc Schiller. George Delgado and Marc Schiller had been business partners since about 1991, and Schiller trusted Delgado so much that Delgado knew the alarm code and layout of Schiller's home. And actually, through a bit of research, I found that the two actually started a mortgage company together, and their families were like really close. Like families would have visited each other's homes, and they were all quite close with each other.
Shit.
Yeah. So just before we get into it, a bit of background then on who this Marc Schiller guy is. He was born in Buenos Aires, Argentina, and immigrated to Brooklyn, New York with his parents when he was 7 years old. An early entrepreneur, he started several small businesses by the age of 9. He attended high school in Brooklyn, participating in sports, and was a member of the school's track team.
How does a 9-year-old start several small businesses?
I know, yeah.
I'm suspicious that this Marc Schiller guy was it's so big of himself that he was like, I was 9 years old and I already had several small businesses.
I mean,
this may have been a bit of like bigging up of his achievements. maybe he had to fill out his CV a little bit.
Yeah, I have started. Yeah, I mean, is a lemonade stand a business? I guess it is. You're collecting money for a service, you know. Marc received a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee and an MBA from Benedictine University. Marc has had a long and diversified career, both as a professional and an entrepreneur. His professional career has spanned the US as well as internationally. On an entrepreneurial level, Marc Schiller has launched several successful businesses, including 2 accounting practices both in Miami and Houston, and a delicatessen in Miami, and operate an options and stock trading company. Now, the delicatessen in Miami is where like the bulk of this will kind of take place.
That's where all the money's made, obviously.
Yeah. Or it could be a front for laundering money, you know? Who knows?
I don't trust. It's obvious I don't trust this Marc Schiller guy one bit. Suspicious of him.
Yeah. So, in a 1994 meeting, Daniel Lugo asked Noel Doorbal and Stevenson Pierre whether they were interested in making $100,000 for 2 days' work. According to Lugo, businessman Marc Schiller had stole $100,000 from him and $200,000 from another gym member named George Delgado. At another meeting a few days later, Delgado agreed to the plan to abduct Schiller, force him to sign over his assets, and potentially kill him. So these guys I've made note here were like all in it from the start. Like, this was either Lugo was a good motivator or these guys were just all really, really dumb. The fact that they're just willing to like lay everything down and go ahead with a plan that could potentially kill a man.
They're happy with doing all of this. So they're happy to abduct. They're happy to torture or whatever, and kill him.
And the thing is, they're literally just going off Daniel Lugo's word, saying that this guy owes him $100,000 and another gym member $200,000. Like,
yeah, and he's gonna pay them $100,000.
Yeah, $100,000 for 2 days work.
I don't know, I guess.
So Delgado, who was the guy who was close to Marc Schiller and Daniel Lugo's personal trainer, was able to give specific information about Schiller, including the codes to his house. The gang had varying plans and made attempts to kidnap Schiller. For Halloween, they planned to wear ninja outfits and knock on Schiller's door. However, this plan did not transpire. Yeah, I know.
I mean, I kind of get it though, because it's not a bad plan, right? Like,
kidnapped by a bunch of bodybuilding ninjas. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forget that they're bodybuilders as well, because I'm just like, imagine they may have thought, it's just kids at Halloween, but no, these guys are like,
they've got a pretty noticeable kind of
physique.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So
trick or treat.
On an early morning in November, Doorbal, Pierre, and Weeks, dressed in black and wearing gloves and military camouflage makeup, crawled across the lawn, planning to storm the house when Schiller went to get the papers. However, they were spooked by a passing car and aborted the mission.
Oh my god. Black military camouflage.
This sounds like something that we would have done, like messing about in forests and stuff when we were younger. This sounds like the level of operations these guys are at.
There's a car. We've been made. Get out of here.
Yeah. In total, there were 7 field abductions of Marc Schiller. The final field abduction occurred on Thursday, November 14th, 1994.
Whoa. Sorry. 7
field abductions. Yeah. So
8th times the charm is what these guys are going on.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
After the last field attempt, Doorbal and Weeks dropped Pierre. So they dropped Stevenson Pierre and recruited Big Mario Sanchez, who was a former gym weightlifting instructor and a licensed Florida private eye. That same afternoon, Schiller was waiting for a prospective buyer at a Shalotsky's franchise delicatessen that he owned. When at 4 p.m., the buyer had still not turned up, Schiller left and was grabbed by 3 men while walking across the parking lot, who stunned him with tasers and then punched him and forced him into a van. The Sun Gym gang then took Schiller to Delgado's warehouse. That evening, they retrieved Schiller's car from the deli parking lot and drove it to the warehouse. That first evening, the gang made Schiller call his wife and tell her to go with his children to Colombia, giving the gang complete access and control of his house. So, as you say, eighth time the charm, they finally have their guy. They've bundled them just into the back, bundled him into the back of a van as he walked across the parking lot, and they've taken him to a private warehouse now. So this is crazy. So over a period of weeks, the gang made Schiller tell a series of stories and under pressure sign over all of his assets, making dozens of requests for his autographs. So this is all over, like, this isn't like a day kidnapping kind of thing. This is weeks. And all while they were doing this, these bodybuilders and the Sun Gym gang, they were going to and from their jobs, just interacting with people normally, when they had this guy kidnapped, tied up in a warehouse, and they were torturing him and getting him to sign over all his assets, basically. Initially planned as a 2-day abduction, the abduction went over a period of weeks as they coveted assets from Switzerland and the Cayman Islands. The last money transfer was made on December 10th. So we went from November into December here. Finally, the gang decided they would kill Schiller with a $2 million MetLife insurance policy designated to Lugo's ex-wife, Lillian Torres, as the new beneficiary. So...
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So it has escalated from like 100,000, 200,000 to 2 million?
To a 2 million life insurance policy on top of whatever this guy had in Switzerland banks, in Cayman Islands, and his assets, his house, whatever. We'll get into it a little bit, what they actually managed to get a hold of. But during this time, Schiller repeatedly signed papers he could not see. So this guy was blindfolded, supposedly, through this whole ordeal. The documents were notarized by the Sun Gym owner, John Mees. So this would have been Lugo's boss, John Mees. And I've wrote that this is super important because to be a notary, like, you kind of take an oath. It's like a really high level kind of position to hold, basically. And clearly this John Mees was going to get something out of it, because he would not notarize or not authorize these documents without Schiller being present. You need both parties to be present. He would authorize the whole thing. So what was he going to get out of this deal, basically? That was, tempting him.
Make it worth his while.
Yeah, exactly. Into notarizing such documents.
What does he get out of it? Is he in on it?
Well, he's in on it to the extent that he managed to that he did notarize the documents. I think Lugo promised him money into the gyms or something. I'm not entirely sure. I couldn't find too much on it. I'll go down the Hollywood line with that one, but we'll get into that a little bit later on. Schiller had been captive now 3 weeks when the gang decided to murder him by faking a drunk driving crash on December 15th, 1994. They forced Schiller to drink. The gang planned to get Schiller drunk over the course of a few days and send him out in his car in a fatal crash. At 2:30 a.m. on December 15th, after 3 days of forced drinking, Schiller was placed into the passenger seat of his car with Lugo driving, while Weeks and Doorball followed in the Camry. A crash site was chosen 3 blocks south of Shalotsky's, which is the diner, or the delicatessen, sorry. Schiller was then strapped into the driver's seat, and Lugo moved into the passenger side and stomped the gas pedal and steered the vehicle towards a concrete utility pole, jumping out just before the collision.
What?
I know, this is so Hollywood, it's unbelievable, D. Like, it's so crazy.
He literally, how stupid are you as well? You're gonna sit in the car, bring it up to speed, into a goddamn pole, and then just dive out, like tuck and roll type of shit. Like,
yeah,
fuck me.
But when Lugo inspected the wreckage, Schiller was still alive but unconscious. Lugo then splashed gasoline over him and lit it all ablaze. However, Schiller managed to open the door and climb out of the car. The gang
Oh my
chased
God.
him in their cars and nailed him against a wall. They almost went back to hit Schiller again, but another car approached, causing them to abandon the plan. So
Fucking hell.
they've got this guy drunk, crashed him into a pole, lit the vehicle on fire. He managed to stumble out of it, and then they pinned him against the wall with a car. Reverse back, I'm assuming, to go and hit him again.
Do it again.
But another car approached, so they just like, let's get out of here.
That's insane. Like,
Schiller was found and admitted into hospital on December 16th, 1994, being treated as a John Doe and possible DUI case. Meanwhile, the Sun Gym gang, after hearing of no one being admitted into the morgue, started calling area hospitals. They discovered that Schiller was at South Miami Hospital and in a critical but stable condition. So the gang visited the hospital with the intention of killing Schiller, but he had already been transferred to the Jackson Memorial Hospital. This is fucking insane, man. This so they've botched the whole plan. He's in a hospital, and now they're planning to go to hospital to murder him, to see it out. Because if he starts talking,
like 6 different times. Like, so.
No, 8 times to abduct the guy, hold him for a week's ransom, botch the killing, and then he gets transferred to hospitals. It's insane.
And they were like calling up as well, like, so like,
yeah,
like it's no, someone could probably trace them back.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this all happened. He moved hospital, and things kind of quietened down a little bit because Schiller was just treated as a DUI case. So feds basically believe that he was just under the influence, crashed the car, whatever. By early January 1995, Lugo moved himself into Schiller's home that was now owned by D&J International, which was a Bahamian company set up by Daniel Lugo in the prior year. He told the residents of the neighborhood that his name was Tom, and he and the other gang members were members of the U.S. security forces. According to them, Marc Schiller had run into legal trouble and had been deported along with his family. The house was now confiscated and became government property. So now Daniel Lugo just moved himself into this guy's home. He's not even dead. He hasn't even left the country.
He's not dead or anything.
No.
Like, they just move in.
Yeah. So he just moves in, starting to live it up with this guy's house and his money. And this is it. They're feeling we're in the clear. This is us. So
like, how could they possibly feel like they're in the clear? They're so stupid, man.
Well, you see, I mean, from the period of that guy Schiller getting admitted to hospital to now, like, obviously he was questioned by the police, but I don't think anybody picked up his case. They just believed it to be a DUI, a genuine DUI.
Yeah.
Nobody believed him. Like, his story was so fucking bizarre. Like, he was held ransom by bodybuilders. Ninjas tried to kidnap him. You know what I mean? Like, it's so ridiculous. And then he's found completely pissed drunk and car crash. Do you know what I mean? This is back in 1994, 95. So there wouldn't have been the same level of like policing and forensics and stuff. That, yeah.
Still though, like, I mean, he could just go home. Like, he could just go back to his home, see all these guys are still here, and the fucking, like, I would never move into the house. Like, that's insane.
But this is the thing. Even if he went home and seen them, he has signed those documents and have been witnessed by a notary who has said that he willingly signed them over to Lugo. You know,
this is true.
So in total, the gang got $1.65 million in an offshore bank account, his $300,000 house and assets, including cars such as a Dodge Viper and a Mercedes, a boat, and even changed his life insurance policy to suit themselves. So that was the $2 million life insurance policy. So they got a serious amount. Like, however, the group was not satisfied, and in 1994, Daniel Lugo again planned to extort and kidnap Winston Lee, who was a Jamaican man who frequented the Sun Gym. However, this plan never transpired.
Smart.
Yeah.
So not happy with what they've got.
No,
essentially.
That's essentially, yeah. Not happy with what they've got. Just greed, basically. Thinking we've done this once, we could probably get away with it again. So they're going to go after someone else. And this is where we're going to leave the story of Marc Schiller for now, but we will return in just a little bit. But the gang is now flying high, and they're kind of looking to strike out again. So Doorbal learned of phone sex line millionaire Frank Griga and his girlfriend Krisztina Furton. Doorbal proposed to Lugo that this couple could be kidnapped and Griga's money stolen. Lugo involves his girlfriend, Sabina Petrusu, who believed that Lugo, this is crazy, she believed that Lugo was a CIA agent and that she was assisting him in a mission to capture a Hungarian businessman who was guilty of using women for sex and circumventing US tax laws. Like,
Fucking
what?
hell.
Like, that is the bullshit that he has fed her, and that's what she
This
believes.
Lugo guy is just like, yeah. Did he told the neighbors that he was like FBI or something like that?
Yeah, he was special
this
forces.
girl, he tells he's CIA. Like, he loves living like this persona. Holy shit, man.
So the couple, Griga and Furton, accepted Doorbal's invitation to come to his apartment to sign for an investment. They were told that basically Lugo and these guys had money and a new partnership could be made, basically. During this encounter, Doorbal tried to subdue Griga, which triggered a vicious fistfight in the apartment. Furton screamed, and Lugo grabbed her and injected her with horse tranquilizer Rompun. Doorbal put Griga into a headlock, and Griga lost consciousness. Lugo and Doorbal planned to haul Griga off to the warehouse and threaten him to sign over his money. Much to their chagrin, they realized before that they could do it that Griga was dying. They interrogated Furton, which is his fiance, for the code to enter Griga's home. And it is said here that they continued to inject her with Rompun, which was the horse tranquilizer, like while they were interrogating her for this code. And clearly, like, they have no clue what they're doing, because a horse tranquilizer is just going to make someone
fall asleep or
fall
kill
asleep.
them.
Exactly. And it said after a third dose of the tranquilizer is when she eventually stopped answering and fell silent.
Shit.
So now we have two kind of bodies to deal with here. The next day,
fuck, she died then as well.
she died. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I should have explained that. So
Fucking
both parties, Frank Griga and girlfriend Krisztina Furton, are both dead now. The next day, May 26, 1995, Griga's body was concealed in Marc Schiller's stolen couch and Furton's body into a U-Haul clothing box. Both were placed into the back of a van, and Delgado, Lugo, and Doorbal drove to Lugo's warehouse.
I mean, okay. At least they're not like just like completely stupid. Like, at least everything they do is kind of like semi-smart, but like at the same time stupid. Like, like dressing up as ninjas. Like, I get it because you're kind of disguised. You might get them by surprise. This thing, like putting them into like a couch and a box. At least they're like disguising the bodies and things you wouldn't expect. Well, the box not so much, but the couch anyway.
I guess so. Yeah.
They wouldn't expect. They do have like. They definitely think that they're smart, I suppose, like in what they're doing.
Yeah, but let me read on a little bit, and then we'll come back to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
So, using a hatchet and a chainsaw, Lugo and Doorbal dismembered the bodies. So, in the movie, if you've ever seen the movie Pain and Gain, the Hollywood dramatization of this whole event, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, is shown quite comically barbecuing the hands of the victims to try to get rid of the hands. However, it was actually Daniel Lugo who did the grilling. So this is still 100% true, which is fucking crazy, man. I'm not going to turn around and tell you that didn't happen. It happened, only it was Daniel Lugo who did the grilling. Instead of an actual barbecue grill, however, Lugo carried a steel drum outside and laid an iron grate on the top. He tossed Frank Griga and Krisztina Furton's hands, feet, and skull fragments onto the grate, doused them in gasoline, and began to grill. When George Delgado returned to the warehouse, he yelled at Lugo, who reluctantly agreed to move his operation from in front of the warehouse to the rear alley. So he was just barbecuing out in the open here, man.
Just, yeah, you know.
Yeah, hands,
front
feet.
and center.
Yeah,
Holy
front
shit.
and center. Yeah. On May 28th, 1995, Lugo, Doorball, and a third man who did not know that torsos and limbs were in metal drums took them to a remote area in Dade County, Miami. Another drum containing heads, hands, and feet were deposited in the Everglades.
So they just dumped the drums, did they?
Yeah. Barbecued, they cut up the torsos, barbecued the hands and feet, threw them all in the drums with liquid in them, obviously, and then brought them to the Everglades and the Dade County area and just dumped them.
I guess they're splitting it up, so that kind of makes.
I guess so, yeah. But we're going to return a little bit. We're going to return now to Marc Schiller again. After his ordeal, Marc Schiller called lawyer Gene Rosen. And after hearing Schiller's story, Rosen advised Schiller to contact a private investigator, Ed Dubois. On December 16th, 1994, Schiller called Dubois, who asked Schiller to write down everything he remembered and send him the relevant documents. So he was basically going to pick up his case. And if you've ever seen the movie, Pain Again, the Hollywood movie, this is where things do change slightly from the Hollywood version of the story. Dubois received Schiller's written account of his captivity and copies of documents he had been forced to sign. A name on those documents startled Dubois, who was acquainted with notary John Mezzi. Now, John Mezzi was the owner of Sun Gym, who acted as the notary, signing these documents. So Dubois, the detective or the investigator, went to meet with John Mezzi and showed him Schiller's letter. And I quote, this is John Mezzi, "Sounds like this guy had a rough time." Dubois asked if Mezzi knew Delgado and Lugo. Mezzi said that he did. Dubois showed him copies of documents that he had notarized that had transferred Schiller's assets to them. Dubois claimed he could not recall the circumstances under which he notarized them. He agreed to set up a meeting with Lugo and Delgado, which was, I found, highly unusual because I didn't know this would have even been a thing. I thought that they just would have went straight to like authorities knowing this kind of information, but instead they wanted to set up a meeting with Lugo and Delgado. That meeting took place on February 13th, 1995. Dubois came with his bodyguard, Ed Siebert, and Delgado, but not Lugo, came to Mezzi's office. Delgado said, "This is all over a business deal." Dubois asked incredulously, "Is it customary in your business deals to kidnap someone, keep them hostage for a month, beat them, torture them, try to kill them, and then blow them up?" Delgado replied with, "I'm not going to comment."
Sick.
A third meeting took place.
No comment. No comment.
Delgado said, quote, "We're going to give you Schiller's money back, the $1 million. However, there's a condition. Schiller must sign a document stating that he would never tell the story to anyone again, including the police." This is insane.
They want him to sign. I said, "Don't tell anyone, though."
Yeah.
Like fucking hell. Like,
so now they're kind of bargaining or bartering with this guy, going, "Oh shit, we fucked up. We didn't know this guy was going to be alive. This is what we're going to do. We're going to try to cut you a deal. We'll give him his money back if you tell him. Just don't tell your story to anybody else, and we'll just kind of let bygones be bygones." So the detective who's acting as like the go-between Dubois said he would discuss it with Schiller. Schiller was reluctant to let his torturers get off scot-free. He also feared that they were dangerous to others. So Schiller and Dubois discussed the offer with an attorney who said that such an agreement of silence would be legally unenforceable and would amount to a confession. Schiller and Dubois decided to play along.
Yeah, I was gonna say there because it's like there's no way there shouldn't be anything stopping you from signing a document saying, "I will never tell anyone anything." I think just telling everyone. Once you get your money back, you don't give a fuck. Like
exactly.
Do whatever. It's not like the people who like tortured you, kidnapped and tortured you are gonna be like countersuing you for breaking your contract.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
So this is interesting too, because the Sun Gym gang decided to get their own lawyer on board. So the whole thing has went from like this botched kidnapping to everybody's now taking lawyers into the whole thing. And their lawyer, Joel Greenberg, drew up a contract. Quote, "The days dragged on and drafts of the contract were faxed between the two camps. Schiller agreed to every new revision, but there was no money coming in. Schiller then filed a challenge to the deed D&J International held to his house. The Sun Gym gang cleared everything they could out of the house, leaving it empty. The goods were taken to the warehouse in which Schiller had been held captive."
Oh my god.
I know. Pick somewhere else, like.
Yeah, you need to move. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he was blindfolded and all, but like, if he
Yeah.
has even an inkling of where that warehouse is, like, they're sunk.
Ed Dubois soon realized that the offer to return Schiller's money was a stalling tactic. It was past time to go to the police.
Yeah, kind of like as you said before, like,
Yeah.
why if they had went immediately, this may have like
Yeah.
worked out a lot better.
So Ed Dubois contacted Metro Dade Homicide Captain Al Harper, who contacted Strategic Investigations Division, or the SID, Sergeant Gary Portersfield. He informed Dubois and Schiller that the case had been referred to the Robbery Bureau. So there's so many fucking bureaus and loopholes and different groups that are going to take control of this. Like, it's a
bureaucracy.
Anything gets done. Dubois was horrified because he believed the case needed more than the bureau could provide. Portersfield escorted Schiller and Dubois to that bureau. And Dubois saw a cop smirking and softly clapping. Dubois asked a secretary about this. She answered, quote, "SID called over here this morning and said we should expect an Academy Award-winning performance and story from Mr. Schiller today."
Oh my god, they're not going to believe him. That's ridiculous.
Sergeant Jim Maynor and his detective Iris Deegan interviewed Schiller. He pleaded, quote, "Follow up on Dubois' leads. These are dangerous people. Other people could be harmed." Later he asked, "Do you think I'm making this whole thing up?" And Deegan answered, "Yeah, we think you're making it up."
Oh my god, like, you know what, right? We've so many times me and you have like went over like serial killers, murder things, blah blah blah, and nearly every single time there's like a line or a little
exactly. There's a part in the story that
not done their job.
Exactly, that if it had just been followed up there and then, the whole thing could have just done.
Been avoided.
Yeah,
like literally every single one. Like, it hasn't been one yet where there hasn't been like something where a police officer just like didn't check, did something just stupid or something like this, where there's like, no, we don't believe you.
Just lackadaisical with their job. Yeah, it's unbelievable. Yeah. Nevertheless, Deegan investigated. So the guy investigated the case anyway. And Collins writes, Deegan paid a visit.
Good. At least he did do it.
Deegan paid a visit to Schiller's home in Old Cutler Cove. The house appeared abandoned. Indeed, the Sun Gym gang had emptied it weeks before when Deegan interviewed Schiller's neighbors. They identified Lugo from a police photo lineup. Yes, he was a G-man, they said. Yes, they'd accepted UPS deliveries for him, packages addressed to Marc Schiller. Yes, they recalled, Schiller and his family had disappeared sometime before the previous Thanksgiving. No arrests were ever made. However, on the morning, so we're going to jump back. We're kind of just jumping back just a little bit here. So this is the morning.
You're doing a flashback.
Yeah,
I like it.
This is the morning after the disappearance of Frank Griga and his fiancee Furton. So these are the phone sex line guy. Their housekeeper, Esther Toth, arrived at Griga's house, and she was shocked to find their dog barking unattended, because this just wasn't a normal thing for her. And this sparked suspicion. She acquired the help of Judy Balters, who would have been a friend of the fiancé Furton, and the two entered the empty house together. Shortly following, Bartus contacted their mutual Hungarian friend in the Miami area to see if they knew the whereabouts of the couple. After some time, the Golden Beach Police Department were called at 7:30 a.m. on the 31st of May, 1995. Lloyd Alvarez, a friend of Griga's, spotted Griga's yellow Lamborghini traveling in a convoy between two other cars. he followed the trio of cars and recognized Daniel Lugo in the Mercedes. So once again, these guys are just driving about in this guy's cars, like just no bother to them. 8 days after the disappearance of Griga and Furton, then Captain Al Harper phoned Detective Ed Dubois, who took Marc Schiller's case.
Oh my God!
They began to collaborate with the police investigation because they're starting to believe that this whole thing could be somehow linked.
Okay. That's
where,
insane.
Yeah.
I thought it was just pure coincidence when you said that. I was like, what are the chances?
On Friday, June 2nd, Marc Schiller returned to Miami 2 months after he had first told investigators his story. The next morning, Metro-Dade police served warrants on the houses of Daniel Lugo, George Delgado, Noel Doorbal, and John Meese. Lugo, at this point, had already fled to the Bahamas, but was arrested 5 days later in Nassau by a multi-agency task force who brought him back on a commercial flight to Miami.
Okay, they got them then.
So our boys have just been arrested, yes. So they went to trial, and on the 10th of June, Daniel Lugo, agreed to reveal the hiding place of the bodies of Furton and Frank Griga, in return for the police mentioning his helpfulness to a jury. So basically, he thought that if he told them where the bodies were, the police would say to the jury, listen, this guy was quite helpful, you know.
Yeah, he was cooperative, blah, blah, blah.
He brought them to the submerged barrels in southwest Miami. However, the drums did not contain the head, hands, and feet of the victims that were crucial to identification. Following the event, Lugo ceased...
Oh, is this because they mixed it up whenever they were like dumping them? Yeah. Oh my God. That is hilarious. That's ridiculous.
So following this event, Lugo ceased cooperation with the police. The body of Furton...
Oh my God, that's so funny. I've actually... Because they were... forgot which barrel went
where, yeah.
Oh my God, that's ridiculous. So he lost out on whatever little bit of like
cooperation he might have had.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. Oh, that is fucked up, man. That is hilarious.
However, and this was a first for what I'm about to say right now, the body of Furton was later identified through her breast implants serial number.
Oh my God, that's insane.
Which were matched to the records held by her plastic surgeon. A month later, information about the missing body parts were supplied by an anonymous caller. That's crazy, man.
That's mad.
This lady had breast implants, and each breast implant contains a specific serial number matched to a specific person. So they contacted the plastic surgeon, and they were able to match up. Yes, that
identified the body.
Yeah,
that's actually pretty.
It's a pretty smart way to do it.
Yeah, pretty cool.
So while on trial, once the jury heard this, it took the jury less than an hour to find Daniel Lugo and Noel Adrian Doorbal guilty of the murders of Griga and Furton.
Yeah.
Daniel Lugo was convicted of many crimes, including 2 counts of first-degree murder and sentenced to death. Doorbal was convicted of 2 first-degree murders and sentenced to death. John Meese, who was the Sun Gym owner, the guy who notarized the documents, was convicted of multiple counts, including conspiracy to commit racketeering, and sentenced to 30 years imprisonment. And Raimondo was convicted of crimes and including attempted extortion and sentenced to 8 years imprisonment. Delgado testified for the state. In exchange, his crimes were plea bargained down to 15 years for the murders of Griga and Furton and 5 years for Schiller's attempted murder.
He got 20 years total for killing 2 people's on attempted murder.
This was the guy. This was the guy Delgado. Yeah.
And the other guy got 30.
Yeah.
For signing some documents.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
He basically turned on them. He basically, the way the movie portrays it is this guy turned on Lugo and Doorbal and kind of just told everything, just cooperated.
Sold them out.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
As Schiller left the court, this is crazy. One final turn. As Schiller left the courthouse after testifying against his torturers, federal agents then arrested him for Medicare fraud. On March 17th, 1999, Schiller pleaded guilty to 1 count of fraud. He was sentenced to 46 months imprisonment and was then released in 2001. Schiller claims he was innocent, but pleaded guilty because he, quote, had no fight left.
Jesus. So imagine after all of that,
Yeah.
you get done for fraud.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like the guy was mega bucks. He had like $1 million and all these different accounts and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So maybe he wasn't the most like upstanding citizen, but like
Yeah.
after that endeavor, like in dealing with all of that shit, then
Yeah.
you get to go to prison for 46 months. My
Yeah.
God. That's no fun.
So the guy John Mezzi, I'm pretty sure he died in prison.
Man, that's crazy.
And Doorball and Lugo were both sentenced to death because Florida holds the death penalty for any kind of crime like that, basically. But that is
parking violations.
Yeah,
death.
That is the story, the crazy story, man, of the Sun Gym Gang, told in its truest form, I guess. Not the Hollywood kind of version. Now, the Hollywood movie Pain and Gain, starring Mark Wahlberg and Anthony Mackie and The Rock, is I personally love the movie. I think it's a cool movie. It's just stupid, and it kind of, you're watching it going like, there's no way this could be true, but it's true. And it wasn't very well received by the families of the survivor of Schiller, or the families of Frank Griga and his fiance either. But that's Hollywood, like, you know, they gotta sell movies, I guess. But if you watch it, that'll give you a good idea of what actually went on here. But it's a crazy fucking story. It's a botched kidnapping and an extortion.
8 times, man.
8
times the charm.
8 fucking times.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. I love that story. I love the story. It's interesting, and it's stupid, and it's just so many twists and turns. The fact that he had one chance to kind of cooperate and he took them to the wrong fucking barrel.
Oh, that's hilarious. Like, I like the fact that they just had the audacity, man, just to move into that guy's house. They had the confidence to tell people we're federal agents or special forces or whatever, CIA.
Yeah.
You know, like, they just confidence and bluff their way through it. Like,
yeah.
That is absolutely insane. The amount that they got away with.
It's insane, yeah.
And if they had been a bit smarter, they probably couldn't have got away with it all. Like, they probably.
Yeah, if they had just killed Marc Schiller outright in that drunken crash, they would have been living scot-free until they moved on to their next victim. Do you know what I mean? But the fact that his perseverance, he actually went on to write a book that I'd love to pick up called Surviving Pain and Gain, I think it is. It's his story of like his ordeal. He's captive, and I'd love to read it to see what way he tells the story.
It was kind of funny, actually, the way you told that story as well, because the narrative kind of shifted. It was like, this is the story of the gym, the Sun Gym Gang, and we learned blah, 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 this them, what they did, Marc Schiller. And then it was like, and they moved on to their next victim. But then it came back around, and now it was all about Marc Schiller trying to catch these guys and get them done for what they did to him. I like the way it turned around.
Yeah.
So be interested to hear his side in a book.
Yeah, it'd be nice. We hope you enjoyed that. I enjoyed it. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to tell it, Dee. But that is the story of the Sun Gym Gang, and you can see pictures of the gang, of the whereabouts of the Sun Gym location, and of the victims all on our Instagram page. I was posting those during the week. If you want to check it out, just search for the Empty Promise Podcast Instagram, and you can see all the little bits and pieces. Put what's that saying? Put a face to the name or something.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Maybe you like what you see. Maybe you follow. Maybe go on to YouTube. Maybe you subscribe.
Maybe you subscribe. Yeah. I think, Dee, we should maybe move on to personal with the podcast. What do you think?
Okay. Yes, I do believe that's a good idea. Do we have anything that goes in between? I don't think we do. Forgive us. It's been 2 weeks.
Community questions is normally brought in. I have a single community question, but I kind of wanted to keep this one, Dee, because when I wanted to pause there. When the January kind of segments stop, I've got a segment for February that this kind of ties into perfectly. So I don't want to bring it up in case we mention anything there. So
by all means, yeah.
So we'll bypass community questions this week and move into person with the podcast. However, Dee, I was told during the festive period that we have some lookalikes. Not lookalikes, but we have been linked to certain
doppelgangers,
certain celebrity doppelgangers, if you like. Would you like?
I mean, how long do you have, Chris? I mean,
I will send you
my good looks.
I will send you the picture later of the like comparison, if you like, of the person. But apparently my lookalike is, you know, the Olympian swimmer Michael Phelps.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah,
I didn't see.
that.
No, I didn't see it until I seen a photo, and it looks quite similar. It's pretty weird. Not in stature or anything. Literally just face in a certain way.
Yeah. I think hair as well, because his hair. Obviously, he wears the cap. That's the only time I ever see him. He's wearing the cap.
True,
But when he
true,
doesn't wear
true.
the cap, I think the hair is similar-ish as well.
And D, I've been told that you resemble a young Louis Theroux. When you're wearing your glasses. So I think you should bring back. Oh, he has them. Never mind.
I got the glasses.
Put them on. There we go. It's young Louis.
See, I don't wear the glasses when we do it like this because the glare.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
glare.
why you don't wear. Well, there you go. There's young Louis. Yeah, I like it. I
am an investigative journalist. I told you. I you know, I go in, I ask all the difficult questions, I get the answers.
Yeah.
Put it on YouTube. Enterprisepodcast.com.
So there's just a little bit just to tie us over until we get into person with the podcast. But yeah. Anyway, let's talk. Let's shoot the shit. I want to hear about you.
Let's get real. Oh my god! Thank God, I've been waiting all week or 2 weeks for this. It's been a good. Did you have a good Christmas, Chris?
I had a lovely Christmas. I had a quiet
festive
one. It was quiet. It was nice. I mean, we always had the excitement in the house because there's wee ones and Santa. We're waiting on Santa and things like that. So it was always going to be kind of all go, all buzz, you know, first thing Christmas morning, up out of bed, opening presents, dinner on, that kind of thing. Yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely. Christmas Day was great. Opened all the presents and had a great dinner. And then typical fare, we had dessert. Everybody kind of almost simultaneously passed out on different parts of the living room. Just had a little sleep while watching some movies, and it was great, man. And then Boxing Day, we had my granny and granddad down for dinner, and my auntie and her husband and their kids down for dinner, and we were playing like stupid games all through the night. And Boxing Night was a tremendous night, actually, I have to say. But yeah, it was quiet. It was nice. It was peaceful. What about you?
I mean, yeah, very similar. Very similar. We don't have the excitement and hustle and bustle of Santa Claus in our house any longer, but we had everyone down Christmas Eve, as we do. Yeah. To do Secret Santa with the fam bam.
So you had is your sister in Australia?
Yeah, so she's
not she wasn't back. Yeah.
So yeah, we got it was kind of cool because whenever we did like a Skype chat or whatever, it was, Zoom. It was so late with us. It was actually Christmas morning for them, so we actually got to see her kids open Santa's presents Christmas morning. So it was kind of cool.
That's class.
Yeah, it was pretty nice.
Oh, right now, because the time difference would be so messed up there, wouldn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, they were already Christmas morning, so it was pretty cool. So we had that, but like it was just a standard. You know, we had Christmas dinner. We sat around, watched a few movies. I think me and Laura went for a Christmas Day walk.
That's great.
Took the dog there for a
walk.
That's
really nice. Yeah. Hard to beat that.
Because it was quite like a mild day, you know. Back, I think we played. Oh yeah, we played Monopoly. We played Monopoly at like 11 o'clock. We started playing Monopoly, man. Played till like 3 in the morning. It was insane.
Fuck's sake, man. Monopoly is I love Monopoly, don't get me wrong. I fucking love it.
I didn't want to play it at all because I was convinced it was just going to cause arguments. It could be all that shit.
Yeah.
But like, no, we just had really good fun. Yeah. It was good crack.
Did you have any Christmas beverages, alcoholic beverages?
I think I had a few tins of Bulmers, I think.
Nice, different.
Like, I'm not a big...
Nah.
I don't take drinks that much for Christmas. I don't take drink that much at all.
Nope.
So I kind of didn't bother all that much.
Yeah. Marc
Schiller, of course.
Damn right.
But yeah, that was all. To be fair, and it was very funny. Laura's family got us like little gifts, and I was shocked but pleasantly surprised to receive Dr. Pepper as a gift. Anyway, this is a podcast. I know I love Dr. Pepper. It's my favorite beverage. And for my Secret Santa also got me Dr. Pepper. So I was on sugar. I was in a sugar high all Christmas.
Yeah, stocked up.
My Dr. P.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about like all the sugar you're consuming over Christmas.
No.
Just do
It's
it
Christmas.
once
Yeah, you
for
gotta
a week or so.
fucking binge a bit of Christmas, man. You know, I actually
So there was plenty of binging.
in the build up to Christmas, right? This is like the day or two before, maybe 3 days before, maybe like from the 21st to even Christmas Day. My brothers and I were sat playing Call of Duty just round the clock. We had time in the evenings, and we bought like a couple of big bags of like peanuts, like mixed nuts and like fruit and like chocolate nibbles and things, like just peanuts, but like with different bits in them. Man, over the course of those couple of days, I don't think I've ever eaten as many nuts like in my life. You know, whenever there's just a snack there and you're playing and you're not even mindful of what you're doing, you're just like shoveling in. Like these are like kilo bags of like mixed nuts, and we're just popping them into our mouth and just just flat out cod, and right up to Christmas Day actually. And then Christmas Day I switched from nuts to like chocolate truffles. There was like so many like chocolate truffles in the house, and they're pretty heavy and pretty rich.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Again, whenever you're just like playing and you're not even mindful of what you're doing, they were just shoveled in. So just like
hocking them into my mouth, man.
That's like what my diet fucking consisted of for like 5 days straight, just nuts and truffles. So awesome. Good, so good.
Funny, that was the other thing that so me and Laura usually each year she will get me like as part of my gift a big thing of sweets. So like one year she got me like a big box of Snickers. Next year she got me one of those like chocolate lolly, you know, the big chocolate chip lolly things. Yeah. So this year I decided to do the same.
Oh, nice
for her.
Nice.
And as it happens, I got her a kilogram of Skittles, and she got me a kilogram of Skittles. So
now you've got 2 kilograms of Skittles.
Well, there's not 2 kilograms of Skittles left, Chris. That's the problem.
Wow.
But yeah, similar to yourself, like every so often, just a bag of Skittles has been opened. It's just been like, chop.
Are we talking plain red fruit Skittles, like the normal
fruit?
Standard?
Standard fruit ones.
Good. They're probably my favorite Skittles if I had to pick Skittles.
Yeah, well, they're good Skittles for sure.
Great. I like Skittles.
But yeah, I mean, aside from that, like I think I described to you earlier, I was like, I was on like a circuit breaker.
Yeah.
Where I literally didn't do anything. Like I didn't do anything remotely productive for about a week and a half. I literally just
likewise
woke up. Maybe I would shower, maybe not. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I didn't care at all. I was going up, I was playing games, watching TV shows, reading the odd time. Like I didn't have to do a thing.
Yeah, it's a nice way to be for a while. Like as you say, it's just a circuit breaker. It's a break in the normalcy of everyday life.
Exactly, yeah. Mm-hmm. And they kind of give you a bit of a refresher for coming back to work and stuff.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, definitely.
I've gotten that out of my system.
Yeah,
I finally got a bit sick of sitting playing games all the time, so I was like, okay, it feels good to do something different.
Yeah. Have you watched much? Have you watched many good movies that you want to tell me about?
I did watch The Death of 2020 on Netflix.
Okay, that's a documentary? Is it?
No, it's like a comedy show. Like it's like a mockumentary, I guess is what it is.
Okay.
It's Charlie Brooker, the guy who does Black Mirror.
Yeah.
It's pretty good, yeah. It's not amazing or anything, but like it was like pretty funny watch.
Yeah.
It's a light take on all of the horribleness of 2020.
Okay.
But I think I watched it. Oh, I finally got Laura to watch Pirates of the Caribbean.
Nice.
It holds up so.
Did you watch all of them?
No, just Curse of the Black Pearl.
Nice.
Watched it and then watched Coco, which my first time seeing Coco.
I haven't seen it either. Actually, it was on Christmas Day. I never watched it.
It's quite good, very good. I'd recommend it. So watch those. Started watching Queen's Gambit, Chris.
What do you think of it? Slow start, isn't it?
I mean, I wouldn't even say it was particularly slow. Like, the first episode, I was I was buoyed up by the fact I heard really, really good things. So I was fine getting through that first episode. And by the end of it, I was thoroughly engaged. Like, with the story.
Likewise,
so, like, I think we've watched the first 3 episodes, maybe the first 2 only. But it's pretty good so far. Looking forward to seeing the rest of it.
Yeah, I watched the first 4 and then never went back to it. Actually, I should finish that.
All right. Yeah, it's the being of my life, man.
Yeah,
there's so many things I have to get around to watching. Like,
I did watch The Gentleman. You know, the Guy Ritchie movie.
Oh yeah,
Came out
with like
last year. McConaughey, Hugh Grant, a couple of big names in it. Man, you should watch that movie. Very good movie. Very good movie.
I heard mixed things from it. Though.
I think it's very, very good. I think the way the story is told is excellent. It's a very unique way of telling a story. And
I like Guy Ritchie, like so.
It's up there as one of my favorite Guy Ritchie movies. And I also watched Knives Out on your recommendation, I think it was.
Ah, yes. It's good, isn't it?
Great movie, yeah. Very, very good movie.
The boy is in it as well.
Yes.
The boy.
Yeah, what else you got up to?
I mean...
Oh, tell me about your New Year's. Did you do anything for New Year's?
Nope.
Same.
We watched Pirates of the Caribbean New Year's Eve, actually.
Yeah, great. That's a great way to spend New Year's Eve.
Yeah, that's it. Like we knew we can't go out and do anything, so like, what's the point in even trying to like maintain the charade? Like we're just not doing New Year's this year. It's fine. We'll just sit in. We ordered a Chinese.
Nice.
Nice. Yeah, which is really funny because the whole lockdown last week, I think it was in Northern Ireland. Anyway, it was curfew after 8. Yeah. So there was no takeaways after 8 o'clock. So we had to order our Chinese like super early to get that done. Yeah. But it was delicious and
we did
enjoyed a good movie.
We got a Chinese on New Year's. Well, great.
It's a perfect way to spend the day.
Yep.
It's a perfect way to spend the day, Chris.
I think I actually played COD most of New Year's Eve actually.
Oh, I think I played a game as well. What did I play?
Man, I have just been hammering Call of Duty. Like, there's no point in me saying I've played anything else. I'm grinding so fucking hard in that game. Like, yeah.
Man, in terms of games, man, I have played. I think I've played like 6 different games. Like recently, like I played and finished Call of the Sea. It's like a puzzle game. I've downloaded. I finished Cold War campaign.
Nice. I am on.
It's pretty cool.
Before I go into the last bit, I haven't went into the last bit yet because I want to go back and get a few pieces, if that makes sense.
Oh, the evidence.
The evidence.
To do the other missions.
Yes. I like it.
Those are worth it as well. Well, one of them is definitely worth it.
See the mission in the KGB offices, like in the big headquarters.
Sick.
Unbelievable. Like unbelievable. Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah. Oh no, my favorite one by far was in the Russian training place where they're preparing for spoilers alert for Call of Duty, where they're preparing for
invasion on
American invasion.
Yeah,
I love that bit. It was
great place. Yeah.
But yeah, it was pretty good. Obviously not. It's not amazing. It's kind of standard fare for COD, but it was good. And they do an interesting way with it. Yeah, I'll say that much. Yeah, so I played that, Chris. I played like what else? Like Crusader Kings. I downloaded it. It's like a strategy game.
Different.
Started playing it. Man, there's definitely like other ones that I have like. Oh, Hellblade. I finished it.
Nice.
There's definitely a whole one, man.
Senua's Sacrifice. That's it. Yeah.
Senua's Sacrifice. Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Oh, and
have you played any Cyberpunk? No.
No.
Just avoiding.
Just waiting. I'm gonna get something that's capable of playing it. I think there's no point in playing it.
No. I kind of like to see how kind of janky it is, but no.
Yeah. Maybe someday. Yeah. But and last night, Chris, Minecraft.
You son of a bitch.
It's back. I don't know how long it'll last. It might only be a day. It might be a week. But
if you get into it and you're on it more than a week, tell me and I'll jump in with you.
Okay, well, I'm on the PC though, so
we can do crossplay, can't we?
I don't know if that's maybe. I don't actually know. Possibly.
Pretty sure Minecraft's capable of crossplay. Yeah, it is. Yeah.
We'll make it work.
Capable. Yeah. Tell me this, D. Tell me this. Did you set any New Year's goals or resolutions or anything like that?
No.
That's
I might finish last year's resolutions or something.
That's exactly why we haven't done the standard fare New Year's resolution episode of this podcast.
Yeah. I mean, I think it was an exceptional year, 2020, so I don't think we're going to hold anyone. Not going to hold it against anyone not to have New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
Just getting through 2020 was fine.
Yeah.
Well done.
Yeah.
You can worry about resolutions again next year.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I've kind of like I'm a bit disillusioned with the whole concept of New Year's resolutions. Like I've realized during the course of last year that really you can make a New Year's resolutions in August if you want. Like, it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Just when you get the motivation to do it. Like, so.
Exactly.
But there's still it's a good thing if you have things that you're planning to do. If everyone else is doing them, it might convince you to. If you write them down.
Yep.
And bang them out. What about yourself? Have you got anything?
I mean, last year I said I wanted to read one book a month and surpass that by like fucking, I don't even know how many, like maybe 20 books or so. So this year I do want to read, and I will stick to one book a month, but I'll make it a book that I really want to read, something really, like it's been on a backlog, or it's just like one that's been there for a while that I've really wanted to read. So I'll just read 12 books this year. Apart from that, my goal is to run 100 miles in October, and that's just what I'm working towards, and that's it.
That's a pretty good goal.
Yeah.
Pretty succinct, but very like ambitious, but like succinct. Like rather than kind of like
rubbish.
I want to lose weight and I want to do that. You're like
never ever set the goal. I want to lose weight. That's such a shitty. Like, you may want to lose weight, but don't let that be your resolution, please, people.
I want to gain like 14 stone.
I want to gain like 40 pounds, and then lose like 50 pounds, and then gain like another 30 pounds, and then I'm at a nice even 20 pounds. No, I don't like you said, I won't do too much resolutioning or things like that, but there are things I want to do and things I'll definitely tick off the list, but nah, I'm not too focused on it. Next weekend, actually. So next weekend, I'm going to be running my first ultra of the year, which is a 50K or 31 miles. That's like, yeah, by the time you hear that, that'll be like, time you hear this, that's like 5 days away. I mean, the weekend after it, I might go climb Mount Errigal up in Donegal again. Just for something to do. Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, it was a really nice walk the last time I did it, and I'd like to do it again.
You should go climb I can't think of it now. In Newcastle. I'm so sorry. My head is completely blank. All I can think is Mount. It's not Mount. It's Sleeve Donard.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because there's so many.
If you haven't climbed up before.
Isn't there like 7 like different fucking seven like different mountains? There's like Sleeve, like there's like a load of different fucking sleeves there.
Yeah, there's quite a few actually.
I see a lot of people doing that nowadays. A lot of people taking to mountain walking and hill walking and hikes and stuff now. It's a good way to keep fit and good way to keep active. Like, yeah, I support that. Definitely.
Great way to stay in shape. Yeah.
You were saying before we started that you wanted to keep for the podcast, yourself and Laura had done some very panoramic or scenic walks.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, yesterday we went for a walk up to Black Mountain, which is just up, like it's the one right beside Belfast. There's Keophills and Black Mountain, but Black Mountain we'd never done before, and we went up yesterday, and it was like still like white with frost, almost like snow.
Nice.
It was just gorgeous being up so high. Like the wind was just like brisking up against your face, and my face was totally red.
Yeah,
it was chilly, but it was like kind of nice.
Yeah,
it was like a brisk, kind of the way you described it. You were loving the weather. I was like, yesterday morning it was really, really nice.
Yeah,
and it was crazy how we were walking up this like path, and like I don't know what the fuck happened, but it was almost like the path had turned into a stream at some point, and then frozen solid. Like there was ice, like honestly, like 1.5 to 2 inches thick on the path.
Damn.
I was like, because we had to walk on the grass beside it for the majority of it because it was just too damn slippy. I was like, what the hell happened here? That isn't the main path. That's just the one that we were on. Like the main path is like much more trodden, and there's like actually a road that goes way up. But anyway, but
nice.
I was just like,
very nice, Steve. Very nice.
But it was a gorgeous walk. Sunrise, well, not sunrise, but just after sunrise. It was a pretty moment.
Yeah. No, that's nice, Steve. Yeah, I'd like to get in some more nice big long scenic walks myself this year. I'll start with Errigal in a couple of weeks, hopefully. But that's it. I think that's really all I've been up to. No, Hope Isle. It's been a quiet kind of Christmas period. We're back at it now. So yeah, I think we're back with this podcast and back with making a couple of changes, and we have quite a bit planned for this year. So
we'll be more consistent. That's our resolution for Empty Promise.
Yeah, well, at least
the weekly.
At least one a week. Yeah, definitely. And get a couple of those channel trailers done and things like that.
All coming soon, so make sure you're subscribed, eh?
Yeah. I think that's it. I don't think I have too much more to really discuss. I had 2 pizzas last night.
That's the Chris classic, 2 pizzas.
I did, yeah. I had.
I seen you had. I seen you had Apache pizza.
I
Recently?
had Apache
or a while ago. I don't know.
That was last Saturday night. I had that. Yeah, that was good. That was good actually. And I had Domino's last night. Today.
Yeah.
Today
vegan range,
today is my sister's birthday actually. So we had food in the house yesterday, and we had a little party for her at the house, just to mark the occasion. So happy birthday to her. But I had two pizzas. My intention was to buy 2, eat 1 and possibly a half, and keep half for like pizza leftovers this morning before the podcast. But I ended up just eating it because I was hungry. You know,
it was there.
It was there, exactly. I actually ate it. Then I had like some junk food. We lay up. We watched Shrek. Like the whole family lay up and just watched Shrek. It was on TV. And then after it, I was like, I'm quite peckish still. So I had like another 6 slices of pizza. So sue me.
Yeah.
Sue me, you know. But yeah, it's good. It's good. The Domino's vegan range is okay. It's okay.
Doesn't meet the mark of Apache, does it?
Apache's quite good. They don't offer vegan cheese, but I really like Apache. You know, I like their pizza. Are you doing I know you're not, but I'll ask anyway. Are you doing Veganuary?
No. I'm not.
Credit to all the people who are doing it. Shout out to all the people who are doing it. Yeah, well done.
If I am doing it, I'm doing an awful job.
Yeah.
Thus far. I hate the name.
I hate the name too, Veganuary.
I prefer Vegan January.
So would I, yeah. So would I.
Veganuary.
Yeah, Veganuary isn't that appealing. The only good thing to come out of it, D, is that so many ranges and like brands will release special items for January, and some of them become so popular that they keep them on as like proper brands.
Stick around,
so I'm hoping that there will be some to stick around.
More options.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I thought I'd ask. That's all, D. Sorry.
It's fine.
It's fine. Yeah, I think I'm happy enough to wrap this one up. If you're happy enough to wrap it up,
absolutely. I think it's been a terrific first podcast back.
Yeah, it's been very
2021
nice. For 2021. Yeah, what a great way to start, ladies and gentlemen, boys, August girls. Hang on, I just need to write down that I'm wrapping up.
He's got to remind himself what he's doing.
Thank you very much for tuning in and finding and listening or watching the Empty Promise podcast, episode 117, the first episode of 2021. The video version is available over at youtube.com/Empty Promise podcast, or the audio version is available at any podcast hosting service. You know the jig by now, I'm sure. You can find us, you can rate us, give us a thumbs up, leave a comment. We are so very grateful for all your support, and it's going to be a big year for us. So make sure that you do keep up with what we're getting up to. It's going to be a good one. D, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much for having me, Chris.
I think it is you that has it is your connection that definitely supplies this Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
I understand.
It definitely is. You and your investigative journalistic ways. Oh, that was so nice.
I am. You write that down too?
Yeah.
Part of it.
Do you want me to write it down? D, the
investigative journalism ways. I'm a young Louis Theroux. I am, when I wear my glasses, that is. And I'm going to bring you the best in investigative journalism ways. All the time. That's my commitment for 2021.
So I wrote down D and his investigative journalistic ways.
Mm-hmm.
That's now in the book. If you send us anything, it's going into the book, and this book will be available for purchase 2022. So thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you for tuning in to episode 117 of the podcast. We will see you all next week, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. Goodbye and God bless.
Goodbye.